Hello, I'm Justin Porter. Today's date is the 22nd of the 2nd, 2022, and the title of my video today is Why We Wanted to Believe. Why did we want to believe in an afterlife? Why did we want to believe in a heaven, if you're a Christian, or a earthly paradise if you're a Jehovah's Witness? But the interesting thing is that human beings need religion to help them cope with life. Sometimes life is so hard and tough and such a struggle. Some of us need religion just for that beautiful hope of an afterlife, that this isn't just it, is this all it is, that we work, we struggle, and then we kick the bucket and we're gone for the rest of eternity? Why were we here in the first place? What's the use of it if we're just going to be a blimp in the map of eternity? That's why people need religion. When you lose your loved one in death, you lose your marriage mate, you spend all those decades together married, and all of a sudden death comes and takes your marriage mate. They're gone, and all those memories, that's all you've got left is memories. You lose your child in an accident. The grief. When will I see them again? I have to see them again. It can't be the end. It just can't be the end of everything. Surely there'll be a reunion, So people need religion. And I think for a lot of people, if they didn't have religion, they would go crazy and mad, and a lot of people would probably end up suiciding. Also, religion gives people community. Yes, people need a tribe. We need a family, we need a tribe. We need to be loved and wanted, and we need to be part of a group. We're very, us primates are very tribal group. We like to be part of a group. When Jehovah's Witnesses first knocked on my door in 1988, I was an agnostic. I was 27 years old, and I was an agnostic. Little did I know that that knock on the door, it was evening witnessing, it was about 5 or 6 o'clock, and it was in daylight savings in New South Wales. Little did I know that knock on the door, basically, I was brainwashed from that moment on. When I saw the scripture, Ecclesiastes 9:5, the scripture, Ecclesiastes 9:5 says, the living are conscious that they will die, but as for the dead, they are conscious of nothing at all. And that scripture in Ecclesiastes won me over to the Jehovah's Witness religion, because what always bothered me about Christianity and the Bible was that hellfire teaching. I went to a Catholic school. I went to a Catholic high school between 1975 and 1977 when I was a teenager, and I was born in 1961. And the hellfire doctrine petrified me. The teaching that, in Luke chapter 16, it talks about hellfire. And that scared me, and I never thought I was good enough to go to heaven. So that was always a bother to me, the hellfire doctrine. And so when Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on the door, I was an agnostic, because I thought, I don't really believe that. How could a God torture somebody for the rest of eternity in the flames of hell, suffering in pain, wreathing in pain for the rest of eternity, for a short little life, and the person was born a sinner for a crime they didn't commit. And the crime was picking forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. All the human suffering, all the animal suffering, the way animals eat each other, people born blind, birth defects, multiple sclerosis, childhood cancer, all the horrible crimes that have been committed throughout history, all the animal suffering, a lion eating a zebra alive, wolves, a pack of wolves eating a baby impala alive, slowly. It's just so cruel. It's so cruel and so unloving. So unloving. And all over a piece of forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. And that just does not make sense. That does not make sense. We're born sinners because of what Adam and Eve did. Born sick, commanded to be well, or you're going to burn in hell forever. And most Christians believe in the hellfire doctrine. It's only Jehovah's Witnesses and Seventh-day Adventists that don't believe in the hellfire doctrine. So that's all I wanted to say there. So we need religion because death hits us like a ton of bricks. It leaves us feeling empty, numb. We lose our marriage mate, our child, our brother, our sister. Death. And it hits us like a ton of bricks, you know. And the grieving process, religion helps with grief. There's nothing more comforting to be told that you're going to see them again in the afterlife. And I hope there is some afterlife. As an atheist, I think it sucks how there's no afterlife. I think it'd be great if there was. I would love to meet my dead mother, who died at the age of 30 when I was 1.5. I would love to meet her. I would love to see my dead sister. My dead sister died in 1994, and I miss her so much. My sister's been dead for 27 years, and I miss her so much. I still miss her. I'd love to cuddle my sister, cuddle my mother, even cuddle my father. And my father died at the age of 38. On this day, on the 22nd of February 1969, my father committed suicide using Nembutal. He was found in Parramatta Park on a Saturday morning by a man walking his dog. Yeah, a man walking his dog found my father's body at a picnic table, like a chess table. It was a picnic table with a chessboard on it in Parramatta, Sydney. And my father had a suicide note on the table. His face was lying down in the suicide note because he'd taken a lethal overdose of Nembutal, which is a vet's drug. Nembutal can put an elephant to sleep. It's a veterinary drug, and it puts cats and dogs to sleep. And my dad was a doctor, and he had access to it. It's called Nembutal. Some people call it Green Dream. And Dr. Philip Nitsky, it is the euthanasia drug. It is a euthanasia drug, and it is a very painless way to go. And my sister, 25 years later, in 1994, the age of 36, she used Nembutal to end her life. She injected it, and just like my father, she copied my father's death. When my dad died, my sister was 11 in 1969, and my dad was 38. My mother died of an asthma attack at the age of 30 in 1962 when I was 1.5, so I would love to meet my mother. And when Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door, I was brainwashed straight away, because I never believed in the heaven thing. Because if my mother was in heaven, put it this way, if you're a mother or a father, if you're a parent, right, you die and go to heaven, you die and go to heaven, and your child is on earth, and God says, oh, sit on your cloud, here's your harp, here's your wings, here's your Philadelphia cream cheese. Now you can sit on the cloud and watch your son and daughter on earth be bullied, be molested, be hurt, cry for you because you're in heaven, but you're not allowed to cuddle your child, you're not allowed to comfort your child, you're not allowed to talk to your child, but you can watch them. Here's your harp, here's your wings. Enjoy heaven. You're going to be here for a very long time, eternity. So I never, and when I was a teenager, I just thought, when I was about 14 years old, I realised that Christianity is just a Jewish religion. I'm not Jewish. I have like Viking ancestry, and I believed in Thor the god of thunder, Thor the god of thunder must be real because we have thunder and lightning. What, you don't believe in Thor the god of thunder? If you don't believe in Thor the god of thunder, he's very angry with you because you don't believe in Thor the god of thunder. Even Thursday is named after Thor, Thor's day. Thursday is Thor's day. If you don't believe in Thor the god of thunder, he will strike you dead with lightning. Now, because you've made Thor very angry with your disbelief, he wants you to offer up a human sacrifice. Offer up a human sacrifice. Offer up a human sacrifice, and that'll make Thor happy and he'll forgive you. So unless you abandon your theory of electricity, Thor is going to get you. So abandon your theory of electricity or Thor will get you, because we know lightning bolts come from Thor. And the theory of electricity is just a theory. It's just a make-believe theory, and you believe in electricity. You believe in electricity with lightning because you don't want to believe in Thor, because when you die, Thor is going to get you. And when you die, Thor will punish you with lightning bolts forever. And we know those lightning bolts come from Thor. We know that the theory of electricity is just stupid. And people who believe in the theory of electricity just want to deny the existence of Thor. So you say that with the theory of evolution. The theory of Christians say, oh, you only believe in the theory of evolution because you don't want to be judged by God. You just want to sin, That's why you believe in the theory of evolution. Well, the theory of evolution is a fact now. It's been proven. Now, we now know the Adam and Eve story is fiction. Yes, it is fiction. Adam and Eve is fiction. So, and Christians don't want to believe in evolution, because if evolution is true, it means there's no afterlife. They're not going to heaven to be with Jesus. And they can't handle the fact that we're just primates. We're just primates, and they can't handle the fact that when you're dead, that's it. It's gone. But there still could be life after death. As I've said before, there may be a giant cosmic wizard in the sky with his magic wand, and he may give you life again in paradise. There may be something. There may be other dimensions, aliens. There may be aliens running the show, like we're all puppets in a pantomime, like in a matrix. There's maybe different dimensions, so there may be life after death. Maybe life after death and no God. There may be a God and no life after death. Well, if you believe in Jehovah God, and if you leave Jehovah's Witnesses, there will be no life after death, and there will be no resurrection if you ever leave Jehovah God. You're not going to get resurrected, So religion is just a big con job. But people need it. We need it. We do need a hope in the afterlife, and it eases the pain of death. It's like a drug. It's like an opioid. It eases the pain. Religion eases the pain of grief and death. There's nothing more comforting to be told that you're going to see your loved one again. And that's basically, it. So, as Jehovah's Witness, I fell for the religion hook, line and sinker, basically straight away in 1988. And I remember trying to give up marijuana and trying to give up tobacco, trying to give up masturbation, trying to give up pornography. I used to get into all those things, yes. And I had to give up those 4 things to become a Jehovah's Witness. Even music. I used to listen to Elton John's music, Alice Cooper's music, and Jehovah's Witnesses used to frown on that music, and Fleetwood Mac. Apparently she's a white witch, Jehovah's Witnesses said. Oh, you can't listen to Elton John because he's homosexual. Can't listen to Stevie Nicks because she's a white witch. Can't listen to Alice Cooper because he's a devil worshipper. Apparently Alice Cooper is a Christian and his father is a priest. His dad's a vicar, Alice Cooper. So, and you can't watch any spiritistic movies. And I used to love reading horror stories, short horror stories. I used to like reading short horror stories. And I loved horror stories and horror movies. And as Jehovah's Witness, you can't watch anything spiritistic or horror, Read any books with spiritism in them. No Christmas, no Easter, so you can't celebrate it that. And it's funny enough, I was raised as a teenager with my auntie and uncle, and they were agnostics. Yeah, my auntie and uncle were agnostics. And in the 1970s, when I was a teenager, I lived with them, and they always used to kind of force me to buy Christmas presents for all these other auntie and uncles and nieces and nephews, and you only got so much pocket money as a teenager. And my auntie and uncle used to say, oh, you're going to buy your cousin a Christmas present, aren't you? You're going to buy them a Christmas present and buy them a Christmas present. I said, well, why? Fair enough. It was like forced giving. So I never really liked Christmas. Because my dad died when I was 8, my mum died when I was 1.5. I was living with my auntie and uncle, who were agnostic. And they had 4 kids of their own, and they adopted us 3 teenagers in 1975. 1975, I was 14, my sister was 17, and my brother was 18, and they adopted us 3 kids. And they had 4 kids, so we had to buy them all Christmas presents at Christmas, birthday presents. So I hated Christmas as a teenager. I loved Christmas as a little kid. In the 60s and the very early 70s, Christmas was good, but I hated Christmas in the mid-70s. Like when I was a teenager in the 70s, it was awful buying Christmas presents. And I remember I bought my Uncle Bob, who was looking after me, I bought him a really cheap $2 book. No, it wasn't 20 cents, not $2. It was about 20-cent book. It was about 9.75, 76, 77, somewhere around there. And I bought a 20-cent book on spiders, And my auntie went off at me. Did you buy my husband Bob, your uncle? Did you buy him a book of spiders? He doesn't want spiders. What does he want a book like that for? And I buy her kids the cheapest plastic things, 10 cents, 15 cents, the cheapest. It was a cheapskate. So I hated Christmas. I hated the BS of Christmas. It was all BS. I didn't like it. As a teenager, I used to hate Christmas. It used to stress me out. So when Jehovah's Witnesses came knocking on my door in 1988 when I was 27, oh, you don't celebrate Christmas? Wonderful. That was so easy to give up. Christmas was so easy to give up. And birthdays were so easy to give up because I never liked being forced to buy presents for my cousins, you know, forced. Like, yeah, it was compulsory. You buy them. You're buying them a birthday present. You're buying them a Christmas present. You're going to buy Auntie Tobby something. She got you socks last Christmas. She got you that jumper you never wear last Christmas. They bought you presents that you never wear or never like, because it wasn't my fashion, but you have to buy. So it was always a big stress as a teenager. Such a stress, Christmas. So Jehovah's Witnesses not celebrating birthdays, and Christmas was a great thing. And when I was a teenager, it's really funny, when I was a teenager, my auntie and uncle, who were in their 30s, see, my auntie and uncle raised me, and when I was a teenager, they were only 20 years older than me, so they were young, they were in their 30s. And I remember my auntie used to say, if you don't do well at school, you're going to be a street sweeper. Do you want to be a street sweeper when you grow up? Unless you get A grade, good grades at school, you're going to have a dead-end job. And she used to say it to me, not kindly but nastily, you better do well at school because you're going to end up dead-end job, no hoper, no future, no career, you know. So when Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door when I was 27, and they said that higher education is of the devil, and higher education is you're self-serving, you're seeking the world to the full with higher education. Why don't you go door knocking, pioneering? If you go pioneering and just get a part-time cleaning job, you can go full-time pioneering. So when I was 27 years old, the Jehovah's Witnesses used to really ram that down your throat. You know, it's the year 1988. No, year 1988. There's only 12 years to the year 2000. And in the October 1988 Awake magazine, or it was the Watchtower magazine of September 1988, it says this preaching work will be finished before the end of our 20th century. So in 1988, I used to think Jesus is going to come back before the year 2000. He'll come back. Why get an education? Part-time job. But because I smoked cigarettes and smoked marijuana and was looking at porn and masturbating, I remember one time at the Kingdom Hall, I was bawling my eyes out, crying at the Kingdom Hall, because I can't give up cigarettes, I can't give up marijuana, I can't give up porn, I can't give up like these things were addictive. And I remember I was in tears. I was so in tears because I couldn't give up these things, and I was crying because I want the truth so much, but I'm so sinful, and I want to see my dead mother. I want to see, her. I want to cuddle my dead mother in the resurrection. But because I'm smoking marijuana and smoking cigarettes and masturbating, looking at nude pictures of women, I'm not going to see my dead mother. And I was sobbing. I remember one time sobbing, and some young Jehovah's Witnesses about my age, in their 20s, said, "What's up, Justin? Come outside. Why are you crying?" I said, "Because I can't give up tobacco. I can't give up marijuana, and I can't stop masturbating, and I can't, They said, "Well, Jehovah will help you. Rely on Jehovah." But it never worked. So I stopped studying the Bible with Jehovah's Witnesses in 1990. I stopped studying with them, and, because I said, I can't give up those. And I thought I would rather just be destroyed at Armageddon, not see my dead mother again. But at least I get to smoke dope and smoke cigarettes and play with myself, That's how I thought. But then what happened, my sister died. My sister died in 1994, and all these things happened in my life, and then I took it more seriously, and I gave up all those things. gradually. Gave up all those things, you know. So that's what happened. And yeah, that's what happened. So, and I got baptized in 1996, age of 35. And what happened, I was so zealous at the door. I used to love preaching. I loved knocking on people's doors and telling them about how they can see their dead mother again, see their dead husband, dead wife, have a pet tiger, have a pet panda bear. You can do all those things, you know. See you in paradise and how happy everything's going. You're going to have a full set of teeth, huh? Full set of teeth. You're going to have good eyesight. No glasses. Throw your glasses away. Throw them away. Woo! No more glasses. Going to have your hair colour back again. My hair colour used to be the same colour as my eyebrows. So same colour as that, dark. See that? Basically, that was my hair colour. It's funny, I've got a dark bit of eyebrow there, and it's a little lighter there, and it's like darker there, and it goes lighter there, kind of lighter there. It's funny that. See that? Have a go. That was my original hair colour. And to have no wrinkles, you know. And when I was young, I used to have the body of a Greek god. When I was young, I used to have the body of a Greek god. Now I've just got the body of a Greek. And when I was young, my skin was smooth like porcelain. Now I'm 61 years old. I have skin like the saggy, baggy elephant. But when I was 27, I was in my prime. And when I was 27, my hair started to go grey. So I was 27 years old, and my brown hair started to go the colour of asphalt, that dark asphalt, steely grey, you know, that really like a dark asphalt, lead pencil colour. And people used to comment, "Oh, Justin," they wouldn't say you've got a grey hair. "Oh, Justin, your hair's grey. Your hair's gone grey," like dark grey. It was and it really depressed me. It really depressed me that I lost my hair colour when I was 27. So when I was 27, I lost my natural hair colour. And to me, as a 27-year-old, that meant I've lost my youth, because my brown hair was my youth. And for my hair to go dark lead pencil grey, it grieved me, because I had the hair of a 50-year-old. So I used to dye my hair brown. So when Jehovah's Witnesses knocked on my door, I used to dye it brown. I'd dye my hair brown. You know, my hair was brown, which was its natural colour anyway. And I stopped dyeing my hair when I was about 30. I stopped dyeing my hair, but from the ages of 27 to 30, I was dyeing it all the time. So that was like, I was really upset about losing my hair colour. Some people lose their hair, but for me, I was really upset about losing my hair colour, and man, I've lost a bit of my youth. So what happened? The message that you're going to be young again, you're going to have brown hair, you know, you're going to see your dead mother so I was 27 years old, so I was getting towards the age of my dead mother. So I thought, it's 1988. In 1991, I'm going to be 30. In 1991, I'm going to be 30. It's 1988 now. So I thought, I'm going to see my dead mother. So I'm going to be the same age. I worked out that January 1992, I would be the exact same age as when my mother died. So this is 1988. So I thought, it's now 1988, September 1988. In January 1992, I'm going to be the same age as my mother when she died. Wow. And it was some date in January, but I marked it down. I forget what date in January. I'll be the same age as my mother. So just the thought of seeing my dead mother in paradise, and I'll be the same age as her, because she's 30. 30, you're in your prime. And it's really weird to meet my dead mother in paradise would just be so special. And to meet my mother in paradise, I would have to honour my mother. But she would have to respect her elders, because I'll be older than my mum. I'm going to be older than my mum. Because if it happens in 1993 or 1994, I'll honour my mother, but she'll have to respect her elders, you know. So that's why I fell for the Jehovah's Witness religion, and I think Jehovah's Witness is beautiful. My wife, Nicole, is still a Jehovah's Witness. She's beautiful. I love her very, very much. She's beautiful, she is, and she's going to go to a Zoom meeting tonight, and I don't want her to leave the Jehovah's Witnesses because I don't want her to get shunned. I don't want her to get shunned, you know. So that's basically, I don't want her to die of a blood transfusion, but I don't want her to be shunned. And I'm kind of, you know, happy if she stays. Here's the go. When I see older Jehovah's Witnesses in the streets, like when I see older Jehovah's Witnesses in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, I don't want them to leave the Jehovah's Witness. I don't want them to watch my videos. I don't want them to watch my apostate videos because I don't want them to leave the Jehovah's Witness religion. Because if they left the Jehovah's Witnesses and get shunned like I'm being shunned, it'd probably end up killing them. So they're happier if they stay in the religion. And for some people, leaving religion isn't a good move, because religion is like an opioid. It's like a drug. It makes them high. It makes them optimistic about the future, where atheism can be very sad. For me, atheism isn't really sad, because I just think of atheism as before I was born, I didn't exist, and that was perfectly okay. And after I die, I'll go back to that same non-existence. Because how do you know there is an afterlife if it's going to be good? How do you know it's going to be a good one? Oh, no, it's got to be good. It's got to be... Well, we don't know. It's all wishful thinking, made up, invented by people, you know. So that's all. But when I see older Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't want them to watch my apostate videos. I don't want them. I want them to see why I don't believe in it. I want Jehovah's Witnesses to see what, like, I'm talking about Jehovah's Witnesses over the age of 60 or 70. I want them to see why I left the religion, but I don't want them to leave the religion and get shunned, because the shunning would kill them. And the only reason why I make these videos, is because I'm being shunned. If I wasn't being shunned by Jehovah's Witnesses, I wouldn't make these videos. And I've heard so many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses say the same thing. The only reason we make these videos is because we're being shunned. I wouldn't do these videos because this is my voice beyond the grave. This is the Watchtower has murdered me by shutting you up. It's like murdering you because you have information they don't want you to share with other Jehovah's Witnesses, because it means their money, it means their power. They're going to lose their money and power, you know. Because if they didn't have the shunning policy, so many people would leave the religion. There's so many people who don't believe in the Watchtower religion, but they can't leave because it means they'll lose their family, and it'll probably end up killing them. There's so many Jehovah's Witnesses who get disfellowshipped, who suicide. Yes, I have been suicidal. I have felt like suicide a couple of times, but I haven't suicided because I love my wife so much. I love her so much. I could never do that because my sister suicided, my dad suicided, and I know how much it hurts for the living. You know, it hurts. When your loved one commits suicide, it is so painful. I was 33 years old when my 36-year-old sister took a life, and it hurt like hell. I felt so guilty. What could I have done to prevent it? I wasn't there for my sister when she committed suicide. I had distanced myself from my big sister because of the Jehovah's Witness religion. Because my big sister was an atheist. She was she had really good morals. She had better morals than me. She didn't smoke marijuana or smoke cigarettes or masturbate or, she didn't do those things. She had better morals than me, and I was an atheist, and I used to preach to her about the Jehovah's Witness religion, and she used to, she didn't believe it. She didn't believe it at all. She was an atheist, like full-on atheist, my sister. She wasn't an agnostic, no. She believed in evolution, there was no God, it's just nature. When you die, that's it. She believed that 100%. And I thought, well, God's going to destroy you, Lisa, at Armageddon. If you don't become a Jehovah's Witness, he's going to kill you. And I didn't want my sister to die at Armageddon. You can see your mum again, Lisa. In paradise, you can see your dead mother. We can see mum again. Mum's going to come back to life. And I was always shocked why all my friends didn't accept the Jehovah's Witness religion. And because they didn't accept it, I drifted away from them. So I drifted away from my big sister. I drifted away from all my worldly friends, and Jehovah's Witnesses became my family. Jehovah's Witnesses became my friends, and all my former family and friends, I distanced myself from them because they were atheists or agnostics, and they're not going to accept the truth of Jehovah's Witnesses. I can't be really buddy friends with them, so I still love them and care for them, but I'll distance myself from them, And I feel so bad about that because I wasn't there for my sister when she committed suicide. I drifted away from my sister. I distanced myself from my sister because she was an atheist, and she wasn't going to help me go door knocking and make disciples, people of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of Jesus Christ so they could be saved at Armageddon, so Jesus doesn't destroy them at Armageddon. And I thought, well, if my sister's going to be destroyed at Armageddon and all my worldly friends and family are going to be destroyed at Armageddon, why be friends with them if God's going to destroy them? Just be friends with people who want to be Jehovah's friend. Just make friends with the Watchtower people, because the Watchtower people are the only ones that want to be Jehovah's friend, So that's all I think. I've said everything. I've covered everything. And what it boils down to, all religion is based on the denial of death. Religion is death denial. And atheists are the only ones that accept the reality of death. Yes, atheists are the only ones that accept the reality of death and face up to the fact that we're not going to exist. And it is hard to accept, but death isn't painful. And when you're dead, you won't know you're dead. And you don't get to experience death. You get to experience dying. You will get to experience dying, but you won't get to experience death unless there's some alien fourth, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, unless we're all spirits in a material world and there's some unknown, unknowable dimension out there that we go into. I don't know. So I still don't know. So I am still very agnostic. I still am very agnostic. So I've said everything I've had to say. Coming up for 40 minutes now. And today's date is the 22nd of February 2022. Please like, subscribe and comment. Thank you very much for your time and sitting throughout these 40 minutes. And I just want to say bye then.